So why do we progress monitor? And here in Rutherford County, we don't buy a program that is district-wide. So that's where that best practices and the resources that we try to provide all of our academic interventionists come from, is because we want to make sure that they are using a specific framework so that when we're going in and doing fidelity checks and doing progress monitoring, we're going to see the benefit of that with the student growth. So we progress monitor to assess students' academic performance. We want to see that what is happening within that classroom has an ultimate effect on the child. Are we closing the instructional gaps that those particular students have? And so this is one way to actually monitor that. And we'll talk a little bit more about how we dig into those progress monitoring tools here in just a little bit. We want to be able to quantify that a student's rate of improvement is going to be in response to that particular instruction. So we look at how are our students that may be a year to 3 years behind, what is their rate of improvement compared to a grade level student's rate of improvement. So we always are telling our interventionists there is urgency here because we are really trying to get these kids caught up. We're trying to close that gap. So the urgency comes with, like Mark's already talked about, we have to have that uninterrupted instructional time specific to these intervention students. We also, it is to evaluate the effectiveness of the instruction. And like I said, Ashli and I are going into each one of these intervention classes, and we are doing fidelity checks all year to ensure how are those students responding to the instruction. So we're not necessarily looking at the teacher performing the instruction, but we're actually looking at the students and how are they responding to the instruction. And then we're trying to ensure, does it match up with that particular progress monitoring tool that they are using?
Yeah. And some of the best practices that we talk about a lot with progress monitoring is remembering that instruction must take place in between those progress monitoring. You know, snow days, holidays, all those kinds of things impact your instructional time. And so we remind our interventionists to constantly be thinking about the purpose of progress monitoring, which is, are they responding to the instruction? And if you haven't had the instruction, then really you shouldn't be progress monitoring. And so having those discussions, we talk a lot with our interventionists about making sure that the progress monitoring tool that they use matches their area of deficit, talking about finding those specific skills and then progress monitoring to match your instruction and the skill deficits of the student. And then we're looking usually with progress monitoring around that 25th percentile is where we tell our interventionist, you're looking for that kind of sweet spot around the 25th percentile, is that's where you progress monitor. And I think we have more information about that in the next couple of slides.